What's up, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the QB Factory Reboot brought to you by SB Nation and Bleeding Green Nation. We are recording on Tuesday, August 23rd. And on today's episode, we're going to recap what we saw from the Eagles' backup quarterbacks, Gardner Minshew, Reid, Sinnett. There wasn't too much to see from Carson Strong on Sunday when the Eagles played the Cleveland Browns. They defeated them 21-20. As you can see, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware by now, Eagles starters did not play. So Jalen Hurts did not play. And so that's why we're going to touch on what we saw from the backups. But before we get started, don't forget to rate. Don't forget to leave a review. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at Bleeding Green Insta. And you might as well follow us on Twitter as well at BGN_radio. I am your host, Raichele Privette, and I am joined by the one and only QB expert, the best in the world, the best in the game. His name is Mark Schofield. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with him. But yes, so what's up, Mark? How's it going? You're back from vacay. How's everything going?
I'm doing well, Raichele, as you mentioned, back from vacation. Interestingly enough, as we talked about last week, the jellyfish sting, that saga is ongoing. It is incredibly itchy right now.
Really?
Like, apparently you can have a delayed reaction to it. And so, like, almost a week to the minute after I got stung, it started to get itchy. And so I've been like slathering like anti-itch cream on it. It's the strangest thing. But we are back. And you know this.
Yes.
Where did my camera go? My camera just disappeared. That's really odd.
That is so weird. Okay, you're back. I can see you now.
Weird.
For our listeners who can't see who's not watching on YouTube, Mark's camera just like literally disappeared. I don't know what happened. Usually like somebody's calling you, but it wasn't.
No, nobody's calling me. Nobody wants to call me. But as you know, with summer vacation in the rearview mirror, that means only one thing. It's fall. It is fall, kids. I was looking at like fall recipes last night. Like I'm gonna put up the Halloween light suit. Like it's fall. Everybody knows we love fall here at the QB Factory Reboot. But we forge ahead. I have a television quote. While I was on vacation, I decided I would pick up a new show to watch. And I was like scrolling through Amazon Prime to like come up with something to watch. And I stumbled upon this show called Poldark, which is about a man who was a captain in the English army during the Revolution. There's my camera. It went away again.
What is going on today?
I have no idea. This is the strangest thing.
That is so weird.
I don't know. So maybe we'll have to deal with that the entire show, which is going to be super fun to deal with. But so anyway, Ross Poldark goes to fight for the English in the Revolution, gets injured, comes back home to Cornwall, England, to find that his life has been turned upside down while he was away. His father died bankrupt, like left him almost nothing, like a mine that doesn't have any copper in it, a farm that doesn't grow anything. He comes home to find that the woman he loved, that he thought he was going to marry, is now engaged to his cousin. Like it's an absolute disaster.
Okay.
And I'm fully into this show now. Like it's very much like a Bridgerton type vibe, which not really like something I tend to watch, but I've gotten sucked into it, and I've been like ripping through the episodes. And so I thought I'd start with a quote from Poldark, and it's Demelza to Ross. And I'm not going to like tease anything in case somebody out there wants to actually watch this, but the quote is this: I do not ask you not to be reckless, for I know you cannot promise something which is so against your nature.
Okay.
And so we start there with Gardner Minshew, because watching him, rewatching that game, having talked to Gardner Minshew before, like it's not really in his nature not to be reckless. And so I kind of had that vibe rewatching him this morning. And so I turn it over to you as my camera goes off again. And, you know, it's going to be that kind
I love your picture, though. I love the picture.
Yeah, I mean, the pictures of Simone. So,
yeah, super cute.
Yeah.
Before I give my song lyric, I have a suggestion. One thing I'm looking forward to for fall, if you guys want any recommendations, Starbucks has this iced chai tea latte that is like, it's really, really good, but they have a seasonal pumpkin foam.
Pumpkin foam.
It is so good. Like you can, when it's not in season, of course, you can get vanilla foam, but it's not even the same. So that is one thing that I am literally counting down for, is that pumpkin foam. So
yeah, I mean, when we were away, like Duncan was already like out with the pumpkin stuff. Like it happens earlier and earlier each year, and I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah. So It is what it is. But my song lyric, I chose lyrics from the Fast and Furious soundtrack.
Oh
Fast
boy.
and Furious 9. I haven't seen that movie, but from the soundtrack, there's a song called Fast Lane by Don Toliver, Lil Durk, and Lotto. And the lyrics say, moving too fast, I'm on go, fast lane, bet I push 100 in 2 seconds. So, of course,
Yeah.
those lyrics apply to Devin Allen,
Yes.
who had that really, really impressive. It was a throw from Reid Sinnett, but it was a 50-50. I mean, not 50-50, 55-yard touchdown pass. Really impressive. The touchdown celebration was even better, but Devin Allen was definitely pushing 100 in 2 seconds. So it was only right that I used that song, a lyric.
Yeah, that's perfect. And was Allen the biggest takeaway from this game, honestly?
He looked great. I said between Allen and personally for me, Deion Kane chemistry with
Right.
Gardner Minshew, the back-to-back shoulder throws,
Yeah.
back shoulder throws. I thought that those were the biggest highlights for me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the back-to-back back shoulder throws, that's a tricky
Yes,
little thing to say.
it is really.
Those certainly stood out. Allen's speed is just incredible. Like, I don't know if it's enough for him to get a spot on this roster. Like, I know Jimmy Kempski was talking about doing like his 53-man roster projection. And it's like, it's hard, like, to sit down and say, okay, these guys are definitely going to make this team. And there's a lot of tough calls to be made. I don't know if Allen's speed is going to be enough, maybe, but that might force a tough decision elsewhere. But the back shoulder throws, in the second quarter there, I thought were kind of impressive, and they were aggressive decisions for Mitchell, but I thought they were better plays by Kane, like the adjustments, to twist his body back to get to the football. I thought those plays sort of stood out to me. Turn it to Minshew. What stood out to you about his game?
So I was looking at, so like we already mentioned, Jalen Hurts didn't play. Minshew started, and he played the entire first half. And so I thought he looked good. I mean, he's a veteran backup presence, so I think that he looked good as a veteran backup. He finished 14 of 17 for 142 yards with a 101.5 passer rating. He completed his first 6 passes. I thought that was really good. I thought he looked really in command of this offense. He was getting rid of the ball pretty quickly. There was a lot of like RPOs, so we didn't really get to see too much from him, honestly, except for those like little check down passes. It wasn't anything that was like super sexy, super flashy, but I thought he looked fine. Like, I thought it was a good performance for, a preseason game.
Yeah.
I'm really bad play that I'm sure we're going to get on later. Like, it was literally like right before halftime, 2-minute warning. It could have been an interception. That was like the worst thing that I saw from him. Then it was an incompletion. But other than that, like, I think he looked good.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about the near pick 6 in a second. What was really interesting to me was his footwork.
Okay.
And this is something that I liked about Minshew coming out of college. His footwork in the pocket. There was a play. It was, I think, a 2nd and 9, 14-19 mark of the second quarter, I think.
Okay.
And it's one of the tougher plays. You mentioned the RPOs. They did do a ton of RPO stuff in this game. Yeah. It's one of the tougher plays for a right-handed quarterback because he makes the run fake to his left, that like mesh with the running back, but the passing concepts to his right. So initially, you've got to get your feet, reset to throw to the right side of the field. And then he wants to throw the sort of looky seam to the tight end, which is his first read off the RPO. And that's covered. So he has to come then to the next part of the concept, which is Jalen Reagor, basically just on a hitch stop route to the right. But the way his feet work as he does this, Raichele, is incredibly impressive because as this is going on, as he goes from mesh to looky to hitch, he's got pressure coming off the right edge. So he has to climb and navigate that as well. And then on the backside, you've got the defensive end, Isaac Rochelle, who buries him. Like, there's a lot going on here. And so Minshew's feet on this play were really impressive. What also made me laugh at times was the Fouts dropbacks. Dan Fouts, used to play for the Chargers. Now he's in the booth. He used to have that sort of back pedal, right? Like, not traditional, like step, cross step. Like, he would just back pedal. Minshew did some of that, which kind of made me giggle a little bit, because you don't see that too often. I thought his footwork is interesting. We could talk about the near pick 6, which I think he's just going to make a better read. Like, you've got the go out, 4th and goal at the 3. Obviously, you got to throw the ball. the outside corner is staring at you. Like, he's not looking at his receiver. He's reading you. He's waiting to trap that out route. Like, he knows what's coming.
Yeah.
I know it's 4th and 3. You've got to make a quick decision. You've got to get the ball out. It's the red zone. Things happen faster.
Yeah.
But you've got to see that if you're Minshew. Like, you've got to see that he's reading you. He's waiting to trap that route. Give it an extra second to just drop the seam ball over his head.
Yeah. It seemed like with that play, he kind of forced it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if he just would have took like another second or two, literally, like, there were 2 defenders hovering, just sitting there waiting. So it seemed like he kind of just let it go.
I mean, it's almost like he predetermined it. And it's only a 4-man rush. I understand. Look, it's 4th and 3. It's down near the goal line. Things happen faster. You've got to get the ball quicker because of the space. You don't have a ton of real estate to work with. But he just kind of predetermined that. And I think, I'm sure when he got back into the film room Monday, or even when he got to the sideline, Sirianni said, "Hey, look, you had the vertical on the outside. Like, you've got to see that corner. They dodged a bullet there, so to speak, because the corner jumped it and dropped it. Like, that should have been 6 the other way. I mean, it was a 4-point lead at that point. You would have been trailing. So you don't like to see that. But I thought overall, look, there were some concepts that he ran well. A lot of good decisions on the RPO stuff, good pulls. He had a good half-field read. I think it was the 3:30 mark of the first quarter as a 1st and 10. We've got stick to one side, tosser to the other. And it's single high, so you're going to work the sort of tosser concept. And I thought he did that well. And so, I thought he played well. It's like a B performance, really. I mean, nothing that makes me think, he's going to win the starter job or anything like that. But I think it was a solid veteran performance, right?
I agree. I would give it a B, but I also don't feel like this game was meant for him to show off. Like, they weren't going in with that game plan. It seemed like they were trying to see what was up with the running backs. And so, like we already talked about the RPOs, I don't think this was a game for him to be able to show what he was made of. It wasn't about him.
Yeah. I mean, the back shoulder throws to Kane I thought were great, but like we talked about, those were also on Kane for his adjustment and what he did. I mean, I guess we should talk about, Reid Sinnett
get into
a little bit. The pocket movement, he had a great throw right at the end of, I think, the third quarter. It was like a 2nd and 7 where he moved extremely well in the pocket. Now the pass ends up falling incomplete. Like, it kind of gets dropped by Covey, but he moves so well on this play because he's got like multiple points of pressure off both edges, pressure coming late from a linebacker blitzer that he's going to navigate. The pocket footwork is really good on this play. He moves around. He creates space with his feet. And then he makes a good throw late because the entire time he's navigating this pressure, he keeps his eyes trained downfield. He just leads him just maybe a step too much. But I thought, that was a good throw. The Allen TD was a good read, a good throw, a good ball. One of his first throws, he was late on an out route, which nearly got jumped. So you don't like to see that. But, solid, I guess.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular.
No, I didn't think he looked. I mean, looking at his stats, like, he was 4 of 9. So it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't spectacular by any means for 69 yards. I know for a fact he got sacked once. I'm not sure if he got sacked more than that, but
I think it was just the one. He had a couple of scrambles. He had an 11-yard sack, which comes in the fourth quarter at the 9:18 mark.
Yeah. Okay.
And, it's only a 4-man rush that really gets home. It's a 1st and 10 situation. There's not much for him to throw to.
Yeah.
And there's really just, I think it's the right tackle that gets beat. Like, he doesn't really have a chance. So it's not a situation where I'm like, oh, this is on him. He holds it too long or he runs into pressure. It's just, at this point of the game, you're kind of playing with backups. Right tackle gets beat with a quick move to the inside, kind of maybe oversets a little bit, gives up the inside shoulder. Yeah. That kind of stuff happens in the fourth quarter of a preseason game.
Yeah. So,
and then this Carson Strong who threw a pass.
One, literally. Yeah. I think he attempted one pass.
Yeah, he was 0 for 1, and he comes in and immediately tries a back shoulder throw to Allen, which is just perfect because that was kind of Strong's game at Nevada, right? Like, he's going to throw the ball deep. And, it's an aggressive decision. Kind of misses on the throw. I don't know if Devin Allen's game is the back shoulder ball at this point. Like, he's not kind of the guy that I'm looking at. It's like, he's a contested catch receiver that's going to win in the proverbial phone booth. Like his touchdown is what he does.
Yeah.
Getting past everybody.
Yep.
Like winning on back shoulder throws, not
on.
his game. But Carson Strong comes in and on this route concept, it's a couple of it's an out route, a slant, sort of a seam, and then a go ball. And what's Carson Strong going to throw?
Yeah.
The go ball.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe my quote from Paul Dark should have been more about Strong than anything else. Like he's going to be reckless.
Yeah, sure. That would have worked too. Either way, you had two prepared, even better.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we didn't really see anything from him. That's probably going to be a situation where it's like a red shirt situation for sure.
I think so at this point, because.
Uh-oh. It looks like we lost Mark. Hopefully he'll be back like immediately. So we can get into what we saw from the Browns quarterback, Josh Dobbs. But I don't know what's going on today with his camera and stuff. So we'll just give it a few seconds and hopefully he'll pop right back in. There he is. Okay. All right. There you are.
I have no idea what's happening with my computer right now. Like, absolutely not.
Let it rock.
He's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. See you, everybody.
I mean, we're almost done, though. We're literally almost done. So,
yeah.
Uh-oh. No, what is going on today? Says his devices are not connected. Let's see. Okay, there he is. Okay. Oh no. Hello?
I'm here, but my camera won't. There it goes again. I have no idea what's happening. And Michael Kiss recommended this camera, so it's on him. It's his.
Oh, boo, Michael Kiss.
This is all his fault. But
literally.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, the camera doesn't want you to be great today, so it seems like we're gonna.
No, the camera's holding me back, friends. There it is. There it goes again. Camera is holding me back. Oh gosh, no. Okay. Well, it looks like, they don't want you to be great today, so we're just going to wrap it up a little bit. Yeah, I think we might as well wrap it up because it's probably going to kick me out again.
Yeah, that's okay. That is okay.
What a way to come back from vacation, kids.
Yeah, we're just not going to touch on the Browns quarterbacks, and that's perfectly fine. It's preseason,
Yep.
But I think that's going to be a wrap for this episode of the QB Factory Reboot. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Eagles have another round of cuts today, so we're going to be on the lookout for that. We'll be providing all of that coverage for all of you guys, so stay tuned for that. Also, the Eagles head to Miami this week for joint practices with the Miami Dolphins. That's Tua, that's Tyreek Hill, that's Jalen Waddle. They have a new head coach in Mike McDaniel, so we're going to be covering those joint practices. BLG will be there and Jimmy Kempski as well. So stay tuned for that coverage. But don't forget to rate. Don't forget to leave a review. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of that good stuff. And we will be back next week to recap what we saw from the Eagles Dolphins preseason game. But it looks like Mark is oh, here he is. Oh, come on.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Any last words before we wrap up?
I need to go buy a new camera and go Eagles.
Go Eagles.